Go ahead, Hailey. Do it. Boom. 200K away from 21 million. 20,800,000 new personal record. What's going on, gamers? Clyde here with another first Descendant video, and boy oh boy do we got a lot to talk about. Hailey is pretty much breaking the game. I know the bunnies are running around with the whole electric condense right now, and I was gonna post a video on that, but man oh man, do I got a 3-in-1 complete Hailey build for you. So not only can Hailey do this with the big boom cannon like we posted last week, not only can she take pyro out now even easier because they nerfed her, and you can just use piercing light or afterglow and drop them like this, but people say that she struggles on Gluttony. Definitely not. So today we did some testing and we did this. Killed him in about 44 seconds using the Gley build. That's right. We're using Hailey like a Gley. We're going to get into that and explain how that works. But also you can use a 7-second cooldown on Hailey's 4 and just spam sniper shots at Gluttony and melt him and do plenty of damage as well while using your sniper and get sub 2-minute clears, because you might want to play the game a separate way, and that's okay. Shout out to Lambeauxx. I actually played with him. He's another content creator, so I'm going to put his links down below. I'm going to be rolling some of that footage here, so make sure you guys go give him a follow. So first, before we go into builds, let's talk about the big dilemma right now. Everyone's like, hey, afterglow or piercing light. To be clear, piercing light is going to always hit a little bit harder, and it's not by a lot like you think. Right here in the testing facility, I did afterglow versus piercing light, base, no damage, but I am using Hailey's ult because the numbers are going to change when you activate her third ability. You get the 16 stacks, you're at 25 meters, and then you go into your ult, your number 4, and you'll shoot. So base here on a afterglow, you are getting the 4 million, and then you would get the additional number that comes from the sniper in hand, the base damage, and that is going to be 966,000. With piercing light in my hand, I did 1,005,000, so give or take around 39,000. So now what happens when you have both the mods that you would run on the piercing light Hailey setup and put those mods on afterglow to see the difference here? So doing the shots here, it was around 3.6 and 3.4. We're just going to round up here. It's going to be about 250k per shot. So technically, if you were doing 8 shots in your Hailey build, if you had the perfect setup, you would be missing out on a crafty 1.5 million total damage. I just want to point out that most bosses can't even survive that. So if your screen looks something like this and you get an afterglow sword that's mounted instead of the piercing, that's okay. I think you roll it unless you're trying to be, the best of the best and have the best of the best. Yes, piercing light will always hit harder. The reason why I chose piercing light is obviously because of the damage, but I didn't want to build my afterglow based off of how piercing light needs to have certain mods like rounds per magazine. I don't have the 12%. I don't want to keep wasting materials because I'm working on other builds right now. So if you want the perfect piercing light, you're going to need to roll the 12% rounds per magazine to get the 8 shots. Fire attack is good because it scales, and then you got the crit hit damage. You do not need crit hit rate because of Hailey's intrinsic stats. She's going to put you at 100%, and then you have the bonus fire attack versus Colossus. These are the best mods to run. For that, you can also swap some out like me. So I don't have the perfect 12% mod. So if I really wanted to, I could put this mod on, magazine compulsive. It'll give me 39% rounds per magazine instead of 30. But here's the thing. I'm losing 3.5% crit and I'm taking 10% weak point damage. I put this on. I was missing out on about 1.2 million total. Wasn't too bad. But again, if I want 8 shots and I'm playing with team play, I put this on. Not a big deal. Do not need to roll the 12%. Also, I want to point out, if you don't want to run weak point expansion because it has a cooldown, you can throw something on like special sight where weak point expansion is and get that flat weak point damage while aiming at 30% instead of getting that one juicer shot. Like, I think this procs twice if you take your time. It's totally up to you. There's possibilities to be there. I just wanted to build my piercing light for this specific character. Like I said last week when I uploaded the old Hailey video, I was using Secret Garden and I was telling people, hey, we're gonna build this differently next week, and I wasn't lying, because now you're just building it totally off piercing light or afterglow and how much damage you're going to do. Obviously, you're going to be running your Slayer components, so might as well go farm pyro as much as you can. Even with a beginner build, you can nuke this. And to get your reactor, we have a few strats for this reactor this week on Fortress. You can do the command relay mission on hard mode. Probably do these on public. People will be doing them, and the reason why it's nice to do those is because you're probably going to get a lot of these ion particles like I did. I got bored of this, so we wanted to try try something different. What we did is we did the Valby strat here. We took 2 Valbys into this strategic outpost, and we had a Sharon stunning the boss. All the Sharon has to do is run cooldown mods to stun that boss in place, and we were running around in circles. This worked fairly better. You were getting about 20 plus reactors every 3 minutes. I didn't have to chase them around like the other mission, and I was getting tons of materials, tons of gold, as you see. 5 days deep of reactor farming because I just got done farming Gley reactor. 147 mil, tons of materials, definitely worth it. So now it's time to pull out those screenshots. That's right, you've been waiting for this. We got 3 different builds we're going to be going over, and I'm going to be breaking it down on why I'm going to be rocking these and why I think it's some of the best. So here we go. Solo boss, obviously, if you're just queuing up any solo boss that's able to be soloable, this is going to be your shot right here. And I know that you're probably seeing shot focus and you don't have it. That's okay. Just go ahead and put on something like focus on singular. If you're not worried about the cooldown because you know that the boss is going to die in 1 ult anyway, you could put maximize power there because I don't have a socket here. So that's what's nice. You can kind of just use that whatever you want in a free spot. So for solo play, that's going to be the way to go, simply because you're playing into a whole bunch of crit rate here and crit mods and 8% skill power. Everything's built up in these mods simply to knock the boss down and destroy them. That's why you got dangerous ambush on. So I'll play this footage in the background. Obviously, if you load into a boss fight, you're going to pop your Cold Fury and you're going to let that get max stacks, because when you get 16 stacks, that's when you're at maximum crit damage for your weapons and your ult. And then you can pull out your Storm Snare and down the boss with this solo. It's kind of up to you. I think with the Piercing Light Afterglow build, you do not need to do this. You literally just rip your 4, but I wanted to show you 2 differences here. So you can use the Boom Cannon, the Storm Snare, knock the boss down, and then activate Zenith and just go to work. But make sure that you're using your cryo rounds, stacking up these cryo rounds while you're shooting. Just spamming your 1 ability does put cryo rounds on the enemy and does help with damage. We'll get to why that's so important in the Gley build. And then the other way to play it would be just activate your Cold Fury like I'm doing here, and then just activating your sniper and watch the boss go bye-bye, because again, this build is so busted, especially in solo play. So now let's talk about the 7-second ultimate build that you saw lambeauxx running. Like I said, I actually got to play with him today. We were doing the Gley melts and stuff, and it was really cool. And when he was in chat, he's like, hey, I run this on Gluttony, because I was talking about how people struggle on Gluttony with Hailey, because people were like, in videos, people were like, oh, she's not that good, crit resistant boss, blah blah blah. I don't know about this, but that looks pretty good, you know. Just being able to have the 7-second cooldown and being able to go into Zenith and just always get the weak points weak for your teammates so they can grapple them. Probably have someone in the team that's grappling, so you can just keep hitting those weak points and ripping your ult and ripping the Zenith and using the Boom Cannon whenever you want. You're pretty much playing with teammates anyway. You're taking some of those damage mods off so that you can play into your cooldowns, and pretty much everyone equally does damage, right? So if you want to take off focus on singular and lose a little bit of cooldown here, you can put shot focus here. So I just want to let you know that shot focus can be built into this build. Just take off focus on singular. But other than that, you're just running all the crit mods like you do on the other build, and you're using cooldown like nimble fingers and just hopefully getting your shots back. He did a good demonstration in this. Like I said, it's just the fight started, went after the weak points, teammates grappled. When you were waiting for your cooldown, you got your sniper out anyway, ripping your sniper shots. I mean, it was pretty free, but your teammates are also putting in the work as well. But it's pretty cool to see that you can actually use this build on Gluttony and not get pooped on. Obviously, if he looks at you the wrong way, you could go down. But anyways, shout out to Lambeau. It was fun playing with him, and glad I got to add this to my arsenal of my 3 save builds. Now we got to talk about Gley, and the reason why we're calling this Gley is you pretty much just stand here in your 3 in this Cold Fury. So the reason why we're calling this the Gley is pretty much I'm coming over here in the corner and I'm activating my 3. So right now I'm building up my stacks, and as you see, I'm not losing any MP because of seasonal artifact mods and also of how we have it set up. I'm spamming my 1 right now because I'm actually going to be draining my health to proc the Annihilation set and walk the tightrope just like a Gley does. I am going to have 100% crit rate with Hailey and the gun I have, Enduring Legacy. Enduring Legacy is one of the best machine gun in the game. Sorry, tamers, but it's true. And we are just ripping this DPS right now. All I'm doing is just holding it down, playing it like a Gley. I have no health. I'm going to reload, pick up this stack again, get that Enzo buff, go for that weak point, try my best. Yes, you do play risky here, but so do Gleys. It's not a big deal. And as you see here, the boss just absolutely gets deleted with all gun skill. Hailey is an absolute monster. You're not even using her 4 or 2, but you're using that crit, which is absolutely bonkers. I'm definitely going to be using this this on the new boss. It's an easy setup, and all you have to do is build into it a little bit with mods. So we're going to talk about why I'm running those mods right now. I do want to point out the one thing I did not test is the veteran set. I don't have a full set, but as you see here, if we go and look at what the veteran set does, it does give you the firearm attack and the weak point damage. You're not going to need the crit hit rate because you're already at 100%. So again, I know that there's a different variant of this build, but I think that most people don't have a full veteran set and they probably don't have good stats on them. This does come with 2 defense and 2 HP substats, but like I said, I just wanted to get this out. I'm probably going to stick with the walk the tightrope annihilation set, but who knows, there might be some updates coming depending on how quick we test some stuff out. So again, we're gonna rock the same set as we do on the Gley. We're gonna rock the annihilation set. If you don't have annihilation set, please go kill Devour, an easy kill. What's funny is that we're actually using a Gley reactor as well. I'm only using this because of skill cost and skill cooldown so that I can get my 1 back, my cryo rounds, as fast as I possibly can. So why do we do this? Well, when you spam these cryo rounds while you're firing, not only is that rocking conditional recharge, as soon as the fight starts, any ability that I use, it's going to take my health bar down. We can keep rolling footage in the background so you can see that in action. I want to get my 50%, but once this is already proc the 50%, you can take your health down to 0 and just try and not get shot. Again, you guys are probably like, Clyde, this is a very risky build. I don't know if I want to try it. I'm telling you right here. Now we're going to roll the footage again. So Clyde, you were in a boss fight, you were hiding, boss didn't see you. Can I use this in solo? Of course. But look at this. We're going to set it up just like a Gley. We're going to use our abilities. I'm going to stand in the pool on pyro, get myself under 50% health. So all I'm doing is I'm waiting, I'm letting that 3 cook up. I'm at 16 right here. This kill took me a long time because I was trying to back up as pyro was pushing me. I'm going to hit him with these cryo rounds as many times as I possibly can. So I'm hitting him with the Enduring Legacy, 100% crit rate, going after those shoulders, spamming the one, getting the cryo rounds on him, getting that extra damage, hoping that all my shots are yellow and they're gonna hit, and oh my god, this is melting! That is good, right? This is, I'm telling you, I'm liking this with or without the Enzo buff, but man, when I get an Enzo buff, it's game time. This is gonna be the play. This is gonna be the build that I'm running most of the time you see me playing this. So again, just wanted to go over some stuff, show you that footage, and kind of understand you why we're running this. So we have focus on dimension simply for cooldown, focus on chill simply for cooldown, but it's going to play into the chill and dimension here. You're running maximize conservation because we run this on our bunny. It's really good for skill cost, negative 35%. Conditional recharge, I run this simply to just take my health down below 50%. That's it. And it's great because it's like you feel like the Gley. Increased HP, obviously we just need a little bit of HP so we're not glass cannon. If you want to take this off, go for it, but I wouldn't do it. Walk the tightrope for the juicy damage, nimble fingers for the cooldown. So what happens if you do not have shot focus? I would recommend using like auto immunity or a defense mod there. You can do spear and shield, you can use defense here, but please just try and combine those 4 purple C mods and get shot focus. I know easier said than done. And in this last socket, I think really taking advantage of the immunity, we are gonna probably have to use these down the road. I use this on my pyro kill. I use the heat release. You can use perfect anti-venom, anti-freeze solution, and insulated conductor, all mods that are just gonna keep you from the immunity. I'm definitely gonna try them out on the new boss because we don't want to die. So again, I don't know if this build can get much better based off of just what I was using. If you're wondering what we're doing on Enduring Legacy, this could be better, but I think I'm down the road of having to craft a whole nother one. I think I'm gonna have to go grind out 5 more Enduring Legacies. Here's why. I like the setup of this. I don't know why firearm attack and crit hit damage and firearm attack and crit hit rate all work together for me. I just don't want to build a Enduring Legacy strictly just for bosses because I use this in everyday play. I use this in dungeons, and these 4 substats just work the best for me, and I like how it hits, and I don't want to change anything. So if I did have Colossus damage on here, I could hit more, or we really don't know because this gun is really weird sometimes when you try and punch different stats on it. Sometimes it does good, but it's weird because the intrinsic perk of this weapon scales with firearm attack. You're definitely going to want to roll off the crit hit rate if you would like, and then put the Colossus there. So that's up to you. It's just me. I just like having the crit hit rate up. It just works because even when I'm not using it on Hailey. So let's get into the build. Again, you can definitely switch this out. This is just like my previous. So this is like what people have seen in my previous videos and in chat. Don't worry, I didn't change anything. You don't have to freak out. But mental focus and real life fighter was always the play for this. But now we're starting to realize that we can just put another socket there and socket sharp precision shot. shot. This thing ramping up in boss fights is very nice. Even in the gluttony fights, I tried using real life fighter, but I'm old, boomer, and I missed my shots. So sharp precision shot was definitely just giving me more consistent damage, and it was ramping up and it was juicing. There's also some mods you can swap out here. You can take off fire rate concentration and give up to 6.5% damage and put on the normal fire rate up. Also, if you want to take off fire priority and put on more crit stuff like insight focus, you can as well. It's just, again, this gun is weird, and for some reason fire priority and fire enhancement really work well together, and that's why I wanted to do the one clip kill on Pyro, because Pyro loves fire and we went after it. Weak point mods can be added to this to make this actually hit harder. So you would do like 2 weak points, 2 crits, 2 elements. I know that the people that are going for these fast kills while using this gun, they're trying to come up with some better builds. You would drop your ammo mods. I really didn't want to get that into detail with this. I wanted to give you guys something that you can use in your everyday play, but also smack a boss around with. So there'll probably be a weak point crit enduring legacy build coming soon. So hopefully this can make you enjoy Hailey even more with these 3 builds. I'm probably not going to change them unless something else gets discovered. Just want to point out that doing the dungeons now, the invasion dungeons starting today, you would now get 5 Hailey parts. So if you need to unlock her, please go get her. Definitely one of the best bossing characters in the game, and now that we've discovered that she has multiple builds, you can enjoy the game more. Hopefully this full breakdown of the video makes you understand how to play her better and enjoy smacking these bosses around. Thanks for tuning into the video, and I'll see you guys next time.